Welcome to commonstupidman.com. Here is your host Shahnawaz. Let's make some money. Hi friends, Shahnawaz from commonstupidman.com, and I welcome you on the episode number 4, and this is going to be a module number 3 of a complete guide of self-publishing Kindle Amazon book. So this module number 3 is basically belong to a title called writing your best-selling book. So on this module I'm going to tell you about how to write your best-selling book. So before you start writing your book, you need to have a long-term vision about your books. You need to have a strategy to write your books, and you need to know that first your first book should be focused on building your readership and audience. And if you want, you can put this book as a free or at a low price also. The next book should be in a continuation with your first book, so that you can recommend this to your audience and grow and expand your readership and audience. Third point will be similarly, you can keep on writing more and more books and build your list and make even more money from this platform, but you need to follow this exact system for writing each and every book of yours. So I generally use my personal six step writing system, which I'm going to tell you right now. So step number 1 will be create an outline. The first step of this system is to create an outstanding outline. By now you must have decided the topic you want to put in your books. So now you just need to put them in the form of an outline, or in other words organize the topic. So this outline will be the outline of your book, and you will need to make sure that the flow of this outline is correct and it convey the right message. You wouldn't want to feel lost in the middle of the writing your book. This is where the routine keeps you accountable. Okay, so if you want, you can even create a mind map first and then create the outline. So I always use www.bubble.us. This let me tell you the spelling of this: www.bubble.us. So this is a place where I create mind map. So now you need to click on the once you open this website, you need to click on the start brainstorming, and then when you click on that button, you will be redirected to a page. Once you have reached this page, you need to create your own mind map, which will hardly take 5 to 10 minutes. And both the approaches of creating an outline are correct. When you have got the outline prepared, it's time to, and once your outline are prepared and you're okay with that, then it's time to move on the next step. So the step number 2 will be prepare a TOC. TOC means a table of content. After creating the outline of your book, the next thing you have to do is to create a TOC for your book. Most of the people write their book first and then create a TOC, but you should do the opposite. If you have a TOC first, you will know what chapter are going to be there in your book, right? And what topics will be covered in each chapter. If you want, you can also include the sub-chapter in your TOC to get a crystal clear clarity. The more detailed your TOC can be, the better it is for you, right? So preparing a TOC should be relatively easy, and one smart technique is to make some refinement and amendments in the outline of your book, and you will have the TOC ready. Okay, then the step number 3, put up the content. You already know what things are going to be covered in the book. You already have a detailed TOC in its place to get more clarity on the topic that you had chosen for your book. Remember the topics we picked from the 20%. I guess if you heard my last podcast, I told you about 80-20% rule. So that's what I'm talking about here. Now you need to start putting up the content that is related to each chapter or subchapter in its place. When you have dumped such a large volume of content, then you will see the size of manuscript increasing considerably. After you have put up your content, you need to move on the next step, and the next step number 4 would be getting started with the content. The content that you have added in each chapter and subchapter now needs to inspect it. You are going to take out bits and bits of content that don't make any sense or are not relevant to that particular chapter or subchapter at all. To do this, you might need to go through the entire manuscript twice, and as it is quite natural that you may miss or omitting some irrelevant information, the place where there is a little or low quality content should be worked upon. You need to add some high quality information also in these places and improve the quality of your work noticeably if you feel that. Then the main objective of this step is to ensure that the content you are putting up is fresh and unique, and it's making sense and has a crystal clear flow, and doesn't stink of oldness, and has a lots of example. Everyone loves example. Has helpful stories and some relevant experience. Doesn't have wrong or misleading information, and isn't copied from somewhere else. Has your unique take or perspectives. All these add up for the quality of your book. If you are happy and satisfied with the quality of work and work that you are putting in your book, then you are doing great. Trust me guys, if you're happy with the work you're putting on your book, then you're doing great. Else you need to go back and work until you're not satisfied with the quality of your work. The step 5 would be add other necessary pages. For example, when you created a high quality book which is full of golden nuggets, you need to add some other necessary pages to your book in order to make it complete. Once you have added these pages, your books become complete. So these necessary pages would be like legal disclaimer or income disclaimer, prologue, and the introduction, final words, conclusion, thank you page, and bibliography, references, or you can say acknowledgements, or maybe your personal story, etc. So you should take care of putting a majority of these pages in the end, because of the Amazon Look Inside feature, where it allows the reader to check the first 10% of your book pages of your book. Hence, pages of disclaimer, prologue, bibliography, references should be put at the end of the book and not at the beginning. I'm going to tell you but you need to take care of more important thing. In the beginning of your book, you need to tell the readers about the free bonus that you are going to offer them. Pay attention here guys. You could write it up in your TOC and let them know about the bonus they are getting. This bonus can be a checklist or a resource kit, a worksheet, a list of actionable tips, growth booster, growth hacks, or even a cheat sheet. So this one is going to be your bribe so that your reader can get this, and in return they get added to your list. Remember I told you about the list building. This is what comes in. This is what coming here. Also, you have to put the bonus in the beginning of the book so that the people who even see your book but don't buy it get an opportunity to grab the bonus. This is a smart and ethical technique to get even more readers for your reader base, guys. Trust me. So, do you see how smart this technique is? I'll tell you detail about these techniques in the coming part of the book, but keep in mind that you have to add your bribe thing or the bonus thing on the very top of the pages, because once the people wanted to see your book via look inside function of Amazon, they must can see your bonus pages, so that they can land it up on your landing page and give you their email ID. Step number 6 would be review, proofread, and edit. Once you have added the final necessary pages, you need to go through your book once to check the flow of the content and the clarity, and to see if you have covered everything that you wanted to. Right. So to do this, you should read your book aloud to yourself. When you are attentively reading your own book, you will notice many flaws in your books. You need to remove or correct them before moving on to the next section of your book. Your book portrays your personalities to the readers, so it projects your imagine in front of them. So if your book is full of grammatical mistakes or other errors, you will not be able to leave a strong first impression on your audience, which is much needed in this case, I guess. Hence, you should review and proofread your book and get it done by someone else well. That someone can be your virtual assistant or a friend or a family member. So we cannot find all the mistakes that we have done in our book. So it is better to get it cross-checked by someone else as well. Sometime they can pick. So when you receive the feedback from the concerned person, you need to make the changes as given in the feedback and send your book to that person again, so that he can check if anything still remains unclear or incorrect. You can easily write your own book in less than 3 days using my step-by-step system that I laid out for you. So this system is easy, but only if you follow. So you should not skip any step of this system, as all the steps mentioned here are crucial for the success of your book. Right? Now I'm going to tell you 6 actionable tips to help you write your own best-selling books. Actionable tip number 1 will be time block. You have to divide your time in smaller time blocks. In this time block, you have to put aside all the distraction and just focus on writing part. This means that you cannot go out for a walk or watch a movie or hang out with your friends or chat on your phone. You just have to focus on one thing, and that is writing. When we write in short time blocks, our productivity tend to increase massively. But to develop the habit of writing in time frames, it takes time and a bit of patience for sure. So the key here is to set a time block according to your convenience at first, and then increase it slowly and gradually. For example, you should start with 30-minute time block and add on 5 minutes to it each day. If you follow this, by the end of the week, you would have increased your time block to a complete 1 hour 60 minutes. Isn't that awesome that we are talking about 60 minutes block? I know. You can create 2-3 time block for yourself in the beginning and put them evenly throughout the day. This way, even if you are writing for 30 minutes in a time block, you are overall writing for 90 minutes, which is 1.5 hour. So this 1.5 hour of uninterrupted writing will turn out to be more productive than 5 hours of interrupted writing, where you have to pay attention to other things as well. Now, actionable tip 2. Determine the purpose of your writing. Remember that I asked you to determine your purpose of writing a book. There can be 4 reasons to write a book. So what will be the purposes? The purposes are like passion, profit, authority, and audience. So before you start writing your book, you have to be explicitly clear on the purpose of writing your book. If you're writing slowly for passion and the author tag, then you can write whatever you want to write about. But if you're writing for profit, then you need to create a book that will make you some money. Similarly, if you're writing for the purpose of authority or audience, you need to deliver a huge amount of value to your readers so that they can perceive you as an authority, and you can build your audience as well. By knowing the purpose of writing your book, the writing process become a lot easier, and this actually helps me. Actionable tips 3. Identify your ideal customer. If you're writing slowly for the author tag, then this tip might not be for you. But if you're writing to purpose your passion and make some money from it as well, or your purpose of writing is to build an audience or establish your credibility, you need to make sure that you are identify your ideal customer. So to identify your ideal customer, the best practice is to put yourself in the shoes of a customer and take a 360-degree view from his perspective. This will give you hints and idea about what he wants from you and your book. Once you know this, you need to do research about the most pressing problems of your customers, and you have to write accordingly in such a manner that these pressing problems get addressed. When you are writing for a customer, the book becomes more sellable and quality itself increases exponentially, because this is what customers are looking for. Actionable tip 4. Know the flow of your content beforehand. It would be best if you know beforehand what contents you are going to put inside your book, right? Knowing the flow of your book and its content beforehand makes the writing process much similar and easier, as you already know what you have to write about and you have to proceed. If you start writing without determining the flow of your book, then it can prove to be a disaster, and as you might feel lost in between, obviously. Therefore, I always recommend creating a mind map for the flow of a book, or write it down somewhere so that you can get some idea. Actionable tip: editing and formatting comes last. it is human tendency to make something look perfect even better is get completed, right? So in the attempt to create a masterpiece, before actually completing the masterpiece, we put ourselves in a vicious circles. When it comes to writing, we keep on editing and formatting our own content every now and then. So you should avoid this practice because you are going to change the content of your book numerous times before you produce the final manuscript. The best piece of advice would be finish your manuscript in a rough and a raw form first, and then do the editing and formatting, I guess. Now, actionable tip 6 is model successful people. You should make this a habit. Take out some time and look at the books written by the industry leaders and the books that have been doing exceedingly well. Do some research about the author of these books and observe carefully how they have written a book. With time and some careful observation, you will start to see certain writing pattern in these best-selling books. Once you see them, you only have to model them to write your own book. So our module number 3 is ended here. I'll see you on the module number 5, module number 4. Till then, guys, keep listening to me, and if you have any question, come to my blog, ask me, or mail me your question. I'll definitely help you out. Take care, guys. See you.